illustrious college coaching career. And we are underway. LSU controls the opening tip. They will start on offense. Inside they go on the jump hook, missed on the bounce. Grace Knox, rebound. Koval missed the shot, and Georgia's got it. Mia Woolfolk up top sets the screen for Turner. She resets the offense. Plenty of time for Georgia. At 15-1 overall, it's their best start since the 2009-10 season. Carnegie comes off the screen. Going 1-on-1 against Johnson. In traffic, Turner has to take a shot with 1 second on the clock and hits the two.
Great find by Danny Carnegie. Great awareness as she hits Trinity Turner for 2 points at the top of the key.
Starting five for LSU, and the basket inside for the Tigers.
Kate Koval, the big transfer from Notre Dame, from Kyiv, Ukraine. She has been great. 7 rebounds per game and shooting a very high percentage.
And she's number 6 in the conference in offensive rebounds per game at 3.5. Turcoff missed the 3, and here comes Richard the other way for the Tigers. Nearly threw it out of bounds. Johnson being marked by Carnegie. 12 on the shot clock. Johnson still being guarded by Carnegie. That's going to be a game within the game tonight, and a foul's going to be called on Georgia. And that's another part of the Danny Carnegie story, Anne-Marie, is not only is she's Georgia's top scorer and rebounder as a guard, but typically she takes the best player defensively on the other team.
That's right, and as Coach Abe told us, not all of the best players offensively have to guard the best player as well, and Danny Carnegie is very active on both ends of the court for Georgia.
Richard missed the shot. Turner up the court quickly for Georgia, missed the layup. Koval the rebound. Richard back the other way for the Tigers. Williams steps into the 3 on the wing and buried it. Michaela Williams averaging 13.4 points per game. Here's the starting five for the Lady Bulldogs. Lost at Ole Miss last Thursday in their conference opener. Came back, as we mentioned, and beat the Aggies on Sunday. Woolfolk on the low block. Indoor comes down to the foul line. Turcoff will take a long 3 and off the back iron. Turcoff has struggled in her first 2 SEC games, averaging only 4 points per game. Johnson, 3-pointer off the mark. Koval the rebound. Carnegie now guarding Richard. Drop off. And the short jumper missed by Grace Knox, the freshman out of Las Vegas. Turner pulls up at the foul line and hit the jumper.
Great job by Trinity Turner getting to her spot in transition. Georgia with another bucket.
She has scored both buckets for Georgia so far. Koval initiates the contact. That will be an offensive foul.
Koval heads to the basket. Too much contact for the planted Woolfolk. And great job by Mia Woolfolk drawing the charge on Koval. One of the keys today for Georgia is Mia Woolfolk staying out of foul trouble. Georgia needs her on the court.
Substitutions for both teams as Savannah Henderson comes in for Georgia. Indoor comes out. And Koval comes off the floor for LSU. And Joyner comes in. Turcoff comes around the screen, being guarded closely by Williams. Turcoff fouled on the shot.
Good job by Riley Turcoff. She's a 3-point shooter. She shoots well from 3. Hasn't seen many go in, so great job taking it to the basket, getting fouled, and she'll have the opportunity for 2 from the free throw line.
Grace Knox was called for the foul. That's 2 team fouls now on LSU. And there's Turcoff. As we mentioned, only 4 points per game in conference play. Overall, averaging 10.4 points per game. And missed the first free throw, and she's been Georgia's best free throw shooter. Coach Katie Abrahamson Henderson, 4th season as Georgia's head coach. As we mentioned, their best start since the 2009-2010 season. Now has a record of 62-50. They've already won more games this year than they did last year and the season before that. Knox on the drive. tossed it up there. She's gotten off to a poor start, and she's 0 for 3. Turcoff fouled again.
Georgia doing a great job in transition, getting good looks. Good job to Riley Turcoff. Runs in transition. Trinity Turner gives her a great pass in transition. Here we'll see it again. Good look ahead. Riley Turcoff, good little fake in the air. A little bit too much contact there from Malaysia Fulwiley.
Fulwiley picks up her first personal. 3 team fouls now on LSU, and Turcoff hits the free throw. It gives Georgia the lead. So I like what Riley's been doing. First couple of SEC games, really frustrated, not able to get off her shot cleanly from the outside where she's a great three-point shooter. So she's taking it inside instead. Williams being guarded by Carnegie. They switched off and ran a double team. Inside they go, and Joyner, the former all-conference player from East Carolina, banks it in.
Joyner, another big for LSU, shooting over 67% from the floor. Very efficient looks, averaging just over 11 points on the season.
Turcoff misses the 3. Flau'jae Johnson comes out of there with it, spins into the paint, and hits her first bucket of the game. Carnegie gets the screen from Wolfbrook. They missed the pick and roll. Instead, pass out to Savannah Henderson for 3. It hits the iron. Joyner nearly had it stripped from behind by Wolfbrook, who had a career-high 5 steals against the Aggies on Sunday. And Fulwiley in the paint gets fouled by Georgia.
Man, Georgia's got to get back in transition, as Coach Abe told us. Getting stops in transition and not letting them score easy buckets. Right now, on the past few plays, Georgia has not done a good job getting in the paint.
So Georgia subs out Carnegie and brings in Gonzalez, who played very well defensively on Sunday against Texas A&M, played 29-plus minutes against the Aggies. And they're going to have to get Carnegie rest because she's going full tilt on both ends of the floor and played 43-plus minutes in that overtime game on Sunday.
That's right. Trinity Turner as well as Danny Carnegie playing majority of the game in overtime. And as you mentioned, this has been a lot of up and down thus far here in the first quarter.
Fulwiley hits both free throws to transfer from South Carolina. LSU up 4 as Georgia comes down the floor halfway through the first quarter. Turner comes around the screen and misses the jumper. Got a good look and missed it. And we have our first timeout of the game. Great start here at Stegman. Georgia inbounds coming out of the timeout. Wolfbrook is left open just outside the foul line and hit the jumper.
Great find by Gonzalez. Goes off the screen. The post stayed a little bit too long. She rewards Wolfbrook at the top of the key, who hits a long 2.
She's averaging 12.2 points per game. Another wild shot taken by Knox. A miss up close by LSU. They're the number 1 offensive rebounding team. Finally stuck it in for them. Savannah, top of the circle, missed the 3. And here comes Fulwiley. She's very fast, runs down the floor and scoops it in. Turcoff on the drive, ends up on the floor. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be LSU's ball.
Fulwiley in transition. She is quick. She gets in front of everyone, finishes an easy bucket, and Georgia's got to communicate and get stops in transition.
She was absolutely one of the top prospects in the country when she signed with home state South Carolina out of Keenan High School in Columbia, but after 2 seasons left the Gamecocks and signed with the Tigers. She still got it in there.
Beautiful drive baseline by Fulwiley, and Georgia has got to lock in on the defensive end.
That was a great demonstration of what we've been talking about, her incredible cat-like quickness. Look how she explodes on the baseline.
Quick rip, And like you said, that is a tough angle when you are under the basket. Fu Wiley finishing, getting closed out by the big Woelfel.
Scoring a team leading 14.2 points per game, team leading 3.8 assists per game. As you take a look at her numbers this season at LSU compared to the last 2 seasons with the South Carolina Gamecocks. She's number 4 in the SEC in steals, number 2 in overall steals, number 4 in per game steals, and she's on pace here in her first season at LSU to become the single season ball stealer record holder. .60 run for the Tigers over the last 75 seconds, and Woelfel sticks it in on the turnaround.
Great read. She's getting double. She goes away from it in a beautiful fadeaway jumper for Woelfel.
She has 4 of Georgia's 11. Ball goes inside to Joyner, and she traveled.
Georgia doing a great job executing on the offensive end. They get it into their big Woelfel, who reverse pivots out of a double team and hits a big fadeaway jumper.
Carnegie, three-pointer. She's now 3 for 13 shooting threes in conference play. They have really rushed her shot by face guarding her the entire time in the half court. Knox at the elbow. Gonzalez drives and pulls up short, missed it, got it back, missed it again. Joyner the rebound, clears for LSU. Bella Hines in the game, her first conference play this season. Hines drives and sticks it in. Freshman guard out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Turner, 3 at the top, missed it off the back iron. Joyner another rebound, she brings it up. Hines left open for the 3 and missed it badly. Carnegie on the drive and got the layup.
Great job by Carnegie. After her last miss, she looks like she's hesitating a little bit on the three-point shot, but great job attacking the rim by Danny Carnegie.
That's her first basket of the night. Johnson, Woelfel nearly got the steal. Joyner against Savannah Henderson, muscles her way in there and missed it. It spun out. Long outlet comes to Carnegie. And a blocking foul is going to be called on LSU.
Danny Carnegie takes it to the basket. LSU wants the charge.
Plus she's in the, plus she's got a foot inside the restricted area, and I believe ever so slightly she slid into Carnegie as she was in the air. Carnegie, her first free throw of the night. She leads the Bulldogs in free throw attempts and makes. And with that make right there, Carnegie is now 43 of 53 on the season. Final 24 seconds of the first quarter. It's been a good one. High intensity. Tigers have spread the floor looking for a final shot here. Williams goes off the screen. Now 5, now 4. Flau'jae Johnson hit their iron and scooped up by Georgia. They got a chance with 2 seconds. Turner, more than half court, almost banked it in. Great environment on Sunday in the victory over the Aggies, and another fabulous crowd here at Stegman Coliseum tonight. 4-point lead for LSU as we start the second quarter. Carnegie goes around the screen from Genoa. Gets it back, 14 on the shot clock. Tough assignment for Carnegie tonight as LSU throwing long defenders at her. Ojena, 2 on the clock. Turner's got to shoot it, and she got it off in time. No, she did not. Shot clock violation on Georgia. Anne-Marie, that ball got stuck with Carnegie for a long time, trying to free her up and get her a shot, and there just wasn't anything there.
That's right. LSU's defense is doing a great job locking in on Danny Carnegie. Georgia's got to have better awareness of the shot clock.
Fulwiley is triple teamed and then bounces it out of bounds. That's the second turnover for LSU. They were bedeviled by turnovers in their loss at Vanderbilt. They committed 22 turnovers in that loss at Vanderbilt, 65-61 on Sunday. Carnegie step back 3 off the iron. And the rebound controlled by LSU as Richard brings it across to Fulwiley. Open lane to the basket, and she lays it in. It wasn't a big open lane, but she's so fast, and she hit it so fast, she made it look easy.
That's right, great read by Fulwiley. Just had a turnover, comes down, quick bucket in transition for LSU.
Carnegie 3, hit it, up over Johnson. Maybe that'll give her some confidence. Johnson was right there on her.
Nice jab step from Carnegie. Flage didn't close in on her, and a good three-point basket.
Koval, spin move, missed, and out of bounds off of LSU. And Flage Johnson signals to way back when I worked there. And she stopped by to say hello before the game. And obviously she made a great coaching career decision to get into officiating rather than sports talk radio. So best of luck to her. It was great to see her today as LSU comes out with the after winning the challenge and hits the bucket. Now it's a 5-point lead. So kick ball on Georgia. Ball goes to LSU. Fulwiley with that basket she just hit on the previous possession, already in double figures, and missed the layup that time, but she got fouled. This is going to be a problem for Georgia. Her speed off the dribble is amazing, and Georgia's having a hard time staying in front of her.
That's right, Fulwiley already perfect from the floor, 4 for 4. She has so much speed. She does a great job getting to the bucket. And Georgia's got to know where she's located, and especially when she has the ball in her hand.
So Gonzalez was called for the foul, got her with the body, and Fulwiley misses the free throw. She started against Vanderbilt on Sunday. It was her first start of her LSU career. She's not in the starting lineup tonight, but she is more compensated for that. 4 for 4 from the floor, and now has 11 points in the game to lead all scorers. Fulwiley will come off the floor after hitting that free throw, and Joyner comes back on the floor for LSU.
And 3 of the guards for LSU are on the 2025 Naismith Trophy Women's Player of the Year contenders, and Wiley, Williams, as well as Johnson, just speaking to how strong this guard play is for the LSU Tigers. Yeah,
I opened our conversation with Coach Mulkey today as Flage Johnson nearly came up with a steal. Now 9 on the shot clock. We'll come back to that story later. 5 on the clock. Turcoff with 3 on the clock. Trying to get a shot off. Got stripped. And that's going to be a shot clock violation on Georgia. That is the second they've had on them in this half.
I thought Trinity Turner passed up a look there at the top of the key. Threw it to Riley Turcoff with 2-3 seconds. Just really hard when you're playing hot potato there when the shot clock's running down.
And Anne-Marie, I opened our conversation with Coach Mulkey just saying I'm admiring watching your talented team here in shoot-around. They're fun to watch, and they are uber talented. They're 0-2 in the conference. It isn't because they don't have talent. Inside Joyner on a great feed that time by Williams. Eight-point lead for LSU. It matches their largest lead of the game. Carnegie. Had an open look, then passes it up, gives it to Woolfolk. Turner's now got an open look, goes around the screen, and off the back iron. Last touch by LSU. It'll be Georgia's ball. This is going to be Danny Carnegie's toughest challenge yet this season, going up against Flau'jae Johnson on a possession-by-possession basis. Less than 10 on the shot clock for Georgia. Turner on the drive. Back to Woolfolk. And a traveling call on the Lady Bulldogs. And Maya Burst checks in for Georgia.
LSU doing a great job keeping the Georgia offense in front of them. The past 3 possessions have been tough for Georgia, not getting a good look.
Coach Mulkey going with a rather conservative green jacket look, maybe because she's in Georgia and the Masters who's coming up in April, she's wearing the green jacket.
And it looks like Coach Abe got the memo to wear her sequins, so we have one coach in some fun sequins, along with quite a few LSU fans in their Mardi Gras gear.
Bank in by Johnson. Carnegie behind the screen, missed the 3. Woolfolk got the rebound. Carnegie gets it back, was tempted to fire again.
Her length as well as her speed to get to the basket.
And with that basket right there, Anne-Marie, she's now just 5 points away from 1,800 for her career, which is just a phenomenal number when you think about it. What's also phenomenal about that is there's 8 players that have already done it in LSU history. That's a huge number. Williams off the top of the backboard, and Johnson stayed with it and put it in. 12-point lead now for LSU. They've outscored the Bulldogs 11-3 in the quarter. Turkov misses the 3, and last touch by Verse. Georgia's now 1 for 12 on their 3-point shots.
You took the words right out of my mouth, just looking down to see how they've been shooting. Carnegie with the only 1, shooting 1 for 5. Everyone else 0 for this far.
And this is a direct result of LSU's defense. Johnson left open, gets the layup. Verse gambled for the steal, and Johnson gives LSU a 14-point lead. Gonzalez shot blocked out of bounds by Fulwiley.
Gonzalez heads to the bucket, but Fulwiley getting up in the air, extending her arm. Big block there for Fulwiley.
At just about every position, Anne-Marie, LSU has not just a size, but a length advantage.
That's right, LSU is a large team. They have post players that are over 6'5". They're long, athletic. Georgia has really got to take care of the ball here.
And by and large, they're going over the screens, so they're not giving Georgia much space on those screens. Fulwiley again gets in there, missed off the back iron. Battle for the ball. Gonzalez comes out of there with it. Pass to Carnegie. Nicely done. That ends an 11-0 drought. It'll be Georgia's ball.
Georgia doing a good job dishing. Gonzalez to Carnegie for 2. Georgia fighting back, down 12.
Carnegie, despite her 3-point shooting troubles, now has 9 points, and that leads the Lady Bulldogs. That's one of the things we talked about with Coach Abe at the shoot-around today, was pretty admirable of what Carnegie has done. All the SEC teams are taking away her 3-point shot. She's adapted and finding other ways to score.
That's right. She's really showing her ability not only to score from 3, but to get other looks.
Carnegie 3, and again off the iron. Rebound, Woolfolk. In traffic, muscles it up and in. Hines has it pickpocketed by Carnegie. Breakaway layup. Timeout, LSU.
Georgia showing them that they have the dog in them. Woolfolk battling 4 LSU players in the paint. Big offensive rebound and putback for Woolfolk. As you see, physical. She goes baseline under the basket, creates space, finishes off the backboard, and she says they can't guard her.
So Georgia, after giving up an 11-0 run, is countered with a 6-0 run of their own. And now they're down 8. 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Reading the newspaper articles and posts about this LSU team, some reporters have been critical of LSU's non-conference schedule. They played only one quad 1 team in their non-conference schedule. That was a win against Duke, 93-77, and there is Flau'jae Johnson with the basket. She now has 6 in this game. Carnegie ends up with it, 7 on the clock. Got her man in the air and then missed the jumper. Johnson has it, clears it. Georgia does a better job of clogging the lane that time as Fulwale brought it down the floor. Johnson misses the 3, followed her miss, and gets fouled on the play.
Flau'jae Johnson getting back in the groove of thing after a small ankle injury in the last game against Vanderbilt. A little spin, step back. Nice, fancy move for Flau'jae Johnson, who now has 6 points on the game.
And Flau'jae Johnson, not only a basketball star, she's much more than that, an absolute superstar in her own right. A reported NIL evaluation of $1.5 million. She's got a reporting deal with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. As a teenager, she was on America's Got Talent. She's got 129,000 listeners on Spotify. And now she's just 1 point away from 1,800 in her LSU career. Carnegie 3. Rim out. And we have a whistle. A foul's going to be called on Woolfolk in the backcourt.
And those are the fouls that you cannot, that they're scoring at. She's got to be smarter. Coach Abraham Henderson needs her on the court and has implored her to stay out of foul trouble.
Less than 90 seconds left here in the first quarter. Richard got the layup, banked it in high off the glass. 14-point lead again for LSU. Woolfolk, the turnaround, fouled on the play and one. Coble will be called for the foul, and Woolfolk goes to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play.
Woolfolk takes it straight at Kate Coble, 6'5" for LSU. Fade away from the short corner, and it's nothing but smiles for Mia Woolfolk as she'll head to the line for a chance at an and one.
Mia Woolfolk, all SEC freshman team a year ago. She's a fabulous offensive player. The only thing that really holds her back is her own foul trouble most of the time. She fouled out of the Ole Miss game in 19 minutes last Thursday. Did a much better job against A&M on Sunday. Misses the chance at the three-point play right there. Johnson across the court, trips and falls down. Ends up on top of it, scramble for the ball, jump ball, possession arrow LSU. lead for the Tigers. 55 seconds to play here in the first half.
LSU currently up 22-17 when you're looking at rebounds. Georgia's got to do a better job boxing out and not allowing offensive rebounds. There's already 7 on the game for LSU.
Richard goes back to Johnson. Johnson contact. Rebound Woolfolk. 40 seconds to play in the half. Turner back to Woolfolk. Back to Turner. Open 3. Nailed it. No, that's going to be a 2. Her foot was inside the line. Shot clock off. Johnson runs into Woolfolk again. Wiley dribbles out to the half-court line. 10 seconds to play in the half. Three, Wiley on the drive, missed. And that's going to be the end of the half. Anne-Marie, fun first half. LSU goes to the locker room up 10.
That's right. LSU took the lead there in the first quarter. Georgia had...
And LSU, for the record, they have not started a season 0-3 since 1994-95. They went 1-10 in the SEC that year. Flau'jae Johnson trying to steal the ball from Carnegie. Woolfolk in the paint, got fouled by Kobold on the play and going to get her in foul trouble if she keeps this up. That's now 3 personals on the big young lady from Key.
Yeah, and Woolfolk doing a good job down low, being patient, using her dribbles, creating contact, and stepping back into her jump shot. She'll head to the line for 2 free throws.
Woolfolk 0 for 1 at the foul line here tonight, and she's been a really good free throw shooter this season. Until recently, that's 2 consecutive misses. She was 41 for 51 on the season when the game started.
That's right, man. She's been number 7 in the SEC for free throw percentage at 80.4, and unfortunately that will not hold after a few misses here in the game.
Yeah, she's now 0 for 3 at the stripe. Williams back to Joyner. There's contact. Offensive foul.
Mia Woolfolk draws her second charge. Unfortunately, looked like she's in a little bit of pain there under the basket, grabbing her shin, her ankle, not sure.
Yeah, it looks like the side of her right leg, lower leg. And they're calling for the trainer to come from the Georgia bench.
Amaya Joyner, 6'2", transfer from Eastern Carolina University. Looks like she landed on top of Mia Woolfolk after she took the charge. And we'll take a look.
Oh, yeah, it landed right on that leg, on the ankle, too. Right above the ankle, full weight right on that leg bone, lower leg bone. Wow, hopefully it's not broken.
That is a lot of force coming down on your shin, high ankle. And we hope that Mia Woolfolk is okay, as she is in a lot of pain under the basket.
Wow, it would be very difficult for Georgia to win this game without Mia Woolfolk. It would be very difficult for Georgia to have the kind of season that they want to have this year if Mia Woolfolk is hurt seriously. But you didn't like that look right there. That's a lot of weight and a lot of body landing on a pretty vulnerable part of your leg.
That's right. The replay did not look great. You just hope this player is okay. You hate to see injuries. You hate to see players go down, especially Mia Woolfolk, who has been one of the go-to post players and one of the key components of this Georgia team.
They're having to help her off the floor. She's not able to put a lot of weight on that leg, but she's able to put some weight on the leg. And I don't know whether that means anything or not. Yeah.
She's definitely grimacing in pain, and our thoughts go out to her. Hopefully this is a mild injury, but seeing the impact of that play after the charge is definitely concerning.
So the question now becomes who Georgia will play at that 4 spot. Is it going to be Zencraft? Looks like Zencraft coming in.
Yep, Zencraft will come in and replace Woolfolk.
This is where the freshman's got to step up. Jen Kraft has only played 3 scoreless minutes so far tonight, and she has typically been the first player off the bench for Georgia in a lot of their games prior to tonight.
Yeah, Jen Kraft, just a great freshman. Her length, her athletic ability, still getting in the flow of the game here in the SEC, but she's someone who can make a difference in the game.
Just set a screen right there for Carnegie, and then she missed the open look. Williams pulls up mid-range, and Kraft gets the rebound. Ahead it comes to Indoor. She gets the layup. She was back, maybe had never come back the other way. She was open underneath her.
Good find by Carnegie in transition, hitting the 6'5" Indoor for an easy bucket for Georgia.
So Georgia's got it back down to 8. Joyner on the pass, beautiful play as she feeds Knox for the basket. Turner nearly lost the dribble, picks it back up. 6 on the shot clock. Turcoff on the drive, high scoop shot and draws the foul.
Turcoff doing a great job. She'll head to the line for the 3rd time. And here, Georgia, hard hedge, hit the high post, wide open bucket for number 2, Grace Knox. And Georgia's got to be aware where those posts are located. They were working on it and shoot around. They've got to recover, and they've got to make better reads on the post defense.
So Riley Turcoff at the line. All her points tonight have come at the foul line. She's 3 for 4. And she has taken over the free throw percentage lead on this Georgia team. Came into the game at 80.6%. 25 for 31 when she came in. She's now 5 for 6 tonight.
If you're Coach Abe, I think you have to be pleased with how Riley Turcoff has come out in this game. She's been getting a little flustered, a little frustrated as her offense isn't coming as she would like in SEC play, but today she's being aggressive, getting to the basket and getting to the free throw line. Yeah,
I think she's shown you a lot. She had a tough first 2 games in this conference. Johnson on the dribble, knocked away by Indoor, it's stolen, here comes Turcoff. Crossover dribble and doesn't get the layup. Indoor stays with it, got it knocked out of her hands.
Indoor's got to keep that ball high and chin it.
And Williams throws it into the front row.
And LSU bails Georgia out there. And if you want that playback, Indoor, 6'5", she cannot rebound and bring the ball to her waist where all the short guards are. She's got to keep it high. And Georgia down 8 with possession.
Yeah, Indoor is 6'6". She loses her height advantage when she brings the ball down to the guard's level.
You're right, Matt.
Corner 3, Turcoff. Zen Kraft tried to tip it. Ball comes free. Fulwiley streaks out into the open. Got Turner in front of her and puts it in.
Fulwiley is just so shifty, so quick. You never know what she's going to do. And Fulwiley with another 2 points, giving her 13, leading all scorers.
Carnegie goes by Fulwiley and gets the basket and one.
Fulwiley is so dangerous in transition. She is quick. She is crafty. She is shifty. Here she splits 2 defenders, in and out hesitation, finishes high on the glass. An easy 2 in transition. And on the opposite side, Danny Carnegie with a hard rip and finish and an opportunity at an and one.
Well, Anne-Marie, they like to say in basketball, how do you beat a pressing team? By pressing them. So how do you beat the driver? You drive right back at them. So Carnegie gave Fulwiley a little taste of her own medicine right there on the other end of the court.
That's right. Good job by Carnegie. She's done a good job. Hasn't shot as many threes, but she is also taking it to the basket, just like Riley Turcoff.
Again, adaptability. That's been the story with Carnegie. She's 1 for 8 on her threes, but she has a team-high 14 points. Joyner in the paint. Got the bounce. That's exactly what you would expect for a young lady shooting 67% from the floor. She's got a nice touch around the rim.
That's right, and just the field goal percentages that LSU, they have 7 players shooting over 51%.
Carnegie, step back 3. Lead down to 6. Johnson, baseline jumper, sticks it in. LSU with an answer right back after that big Carnegie 3. Genoa sets the screen, Turner goes around it, spins and pops, and the rebound Joyner. Stolen away, bad pass by Fulwiley that time. Carnegie leading the break, steps into the rhythm 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Danny Carnegie as she starts to heat up. She's now 3 for 10 behind the arc and has 20.
Danny Carnegie has been huge in the second half. She was huge in the second half of Texas A&M. She's been huge today with 2 threes early in the third quarter.
Johnson misses a clean look. Carnegie drives back the other way, stops at her shot blocked by Fulwiley. Fulwiley pokes it ahead. Turkoff back. Contact. Fulwiley going to the line.
Turkoff frustrated. I thought it was pretty good defense. She went up, straight up in the air. The refs thought it was a little bit too much contact, so that'll be a foul on Turkoff.
But good to see Carnegie starting to heat up here.
That's right, turning her defense into offense, a big steal, takes it the whole length of the court on her own, steps into her three-point shot, and that's back-to-back threes for Danny Carnegie.
So now Fulwiley at the line. She's got a team-high 13 points, and it stays 13 as that bounces out. LSU has led by as much as 14 in this game, and now the lead is down to 5 as Georgia's outscored LSU 13-9 in the quarter.
Danny Carnegie is now just over her season average. She's averaging just under 3 threes per game. She now has 3 threes in this game. She's also number 2 in the SEC in three-point field goal percentage at 44.8. And Riley Turkoff is number 2 currently in the SEC with 44.6%.
Well, Carnegie already has her 8th 20-point game of the season. Turkoff missed. Rebound Joyner. Head to Fulwiley. Full head of steam. No look pass. And Johnson goes over 1,800 points for her career.
Flau'jae Johnson, now the 9th player in LSU history to hit 1,800 career points. Congratulations to Flau'jae Johnson.
And what a play to get it on, and a spectacular pass by Fulwiley. Stolen by Joyner. Shovels the ball ahead, turnover. Carnegie goes at Joyner, stops and pops and missed off the back iron, got her own offensive rebound. Turner open 3. Kraft gets the rebound. Carnegie pump fake. And now we'll pull it out.
Everyone looking a little bit winded out there on the court. 8 seconds on the clock.
Turner, rim out. Williams the rebound for LSU. Yeah, it's been a frenetic pace here in this third quarter. Who's going to have gas in the tank going down the stretch? Fulwiley tries to split the defense. Foul's going to be called on Georgia. And this is a history-making play. 5 on the shot clock. Williams with 3, with 2, and stepped out of bounds.
Big defensive play by Danny Carnegie, guarding the bigger guard in Michaela Williams. Carnegie's had some tough matchups here on the defensive end, as well as bringing it offensively for Georgia.
So that is 6 turnovers for LSU here in this quarter. They had only 4 at halftime. Long three-point miss by Georgia, and Joyner another rebound. Fulwiley for 3, missed. Indoor clears. Indoor backing in against Johnson, spin move, left it short, rebound Kraft. Carnegie was open for the three, instead going to drive and miss. Johnson clears to full Wiley. Got to watch out when she's in the open. And a scoop shot up and win and one.
Gonzalez thinks it's a charge. She's celebrating. Little does she know the foul call is on her, and Fuwiley with an and one, taking her to 16 points with an opportunity at an and one.
She has been an amazing player in her college basketball career. Here at LSU, though, they're counting on her to do even more than what she did with the Gamecocks. Interesting scenario where she had some trouble late in that game at Vanderbilt on Sunday. And she confessed to Coach Mulkey after the game. She goes, I've never been on the floor late in the game. At South Carolina, I was never in the floor in those late game, tight game situations. So she still has some growing and maturing to do, as good as she is.
And Coach Mulkey, though, she didn't even realize that until she told her, you know, she was the spark plug.
Turner, speaking of spark plugs, puts a charge into that one, a three-pointer by Trinity. Full Wiley on the drive, spin move, wraparound pass, stolen by Carnegie. Maybe a little too cute that time. Ahead it comes to Kraft, and Kraft banks it in.
The play started with Kraft. Huge deflection in the paint. She gets rewarded by her guard, and Zinn Kraft with her first 2 points on the game. She has 4 rebounds. And she'll be playing more minutes as Mia Woolfolk is still not on the Georgia bench.
Carnegie with 4 on the clock. Rainbow shot! Got it up over the bigs. Big gutsy shot by Danny Carnegie. She's got 22. What a game here. Game number 3 in the SEC for both these teams. And Carnegie got the steal that stepped out of bounds.
Carnegie, great take. She has put the team on her back. 11 points in the third quarter, and she's frustrated that the ref didn't call a foul. She felt like there was a little bit of contact. Georgia gets the steal, but unfortunately hits the line on the way.
This is what Carnegie did on Sunday when the Lady Bulldogs rallied from that 19-point deficit against the Aggies. Johnson being guarded by Turner, drives by her, dumps it off for Joyner. That was just a big mismatch for Trinity Turner.
Yep, the post comes over to help Trinity, who got beat off the dribble. They throw it down to number 1, Joyner, who shoots almost 70%. And if she gets the ball in the paint, most likely she's going to be scoring.
Joyner's now just a rebound away from a double-double. Carnegie shot blocked from behind by Johnson. And that is the end of the as much as 11. They trail by 8 as we start the fourth quarter. Georgia, their highest scoring quarter of the game, as they outscored LSU 20-18 in the third. Joyner bounce pass to Johnson, beat the defense and won as Henderson commits the foul coming over the back.
That looked a little bit like a wide open layup. I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication on defense, but number 11, wide open Johnson for an and one. And those are plays that Georgia cannot have if they want to battle back into this game.
I don't know if that was a mistake by Turcoff or not, but Henderson seemed to think that Turcoff should have been helping on that play. I don't know whether that was the case or not, but that seemed to be the discussion on the floor.
Savannah asked, who are you guarding? Seemed the player had not been marked by a Georgia defender.
The 10-point lead again for LSU. Gonzalez on the drive, shot blocked by Joyner, and Gonzalez ends up hard on the floor. Will be a foul on Joyner, hit her in the face, and hopefully Gonzalez is okay. Well, the official, Kyle Bacon, indicated she got hit in the face right there. I'm surprised they haven't gone to the replay monitor for a flagrant, perhaps. I mean, that's a hit in the head.
It's a hard hit to the face. Then you can't see it in this play, but her left foot ankle, it kind of buckles. You can see that she's in some pain.
I'm really surprised they haven't gone to the monitor because that's contact above the shoulders.
I mean, she hit her right across the bridge of her nose and her face.
I guess they're just going to rule it's a basketball play and a contact play. There was nothing malicious in that, and I don't think that it was. but it was clearly she got blasted in the face. Gonzalez hits the free throw.
And I'm sure she's happy she has her ankle braces on.
Yes. Missed that free throw badly. Georgia now 9 of 14 at the foul line tonight. Johnson drives the baseline, gets stopped by Henderson. Johnson up close and puts it in. Flau'jae Johnson now with 12 points.
LSU doing a good job moving when the ball and doing a good job of finding Flau'jae cutting to the basket there for an easy jumper.
Gonzalez on the drive will pull up in the paint and miss badly. And Johnson has it, gives it to Richard. Flau'jae Johnson gets in the paint, heaves it up over her shoulder, drew contact, and she'll go to the line.
Georgia practiced defending this exact play. The bigs are not getting up quick enough on the pick and roll. The guards are just using the screen, getting into the paint. Georgia's bigs have got to be on top of the screen. That's too easy. No big there to show. Savannah Henderson buried underneath, and Georgia's bigs have got to know where these guards are and defend the pick and roll.
Johnson gives LSU a 12-point lead. She has 3.7 million followers on her various social media platforms. What's that like? I know you have that many, so what's that like?
Yeah, no chance, buddy.
A couple of free throws there by Flau'jae Johnson. She's already become the 9th member of the 1,800-point club here at LSU, and now adding to it. She's got 14 points and back to a 13-point lead for LSU here early in the fourth. Cutting open is Turkoff and missed up close. Richard, long outlet, comes to Flau'jae Johnson, gets the easy two.
It's a defense in as they're now down 15.
Flau'jae came out a beast tonight. And the scoreless game she had at Vandy, there's a caveat to that. She was playing with an injured ankle, so that contributed to the scoreless game. She scored 21 against Georgia last year in Baton Rouge. And now Georgia's in some trouble, down 15 and 5 on the shot clock. Got to do something. Turner on the drive, shoots it up there, got the iron. Kraft had the offensive rebound, then lost it. So during the timeout, Mia Woolfolk returned to the Georgia bench, and we could see her standing outside the huddle. She's now in the game, so there she is. She was bouncing up and down. She was ready to get back in, and now she is.
Georgia needs her on the court. She's a key component for Georgia. Happy to see her back on the court after a little bit of a scare there.
Johnson in the paint. No one picked her up, and she stuck it in for the easy one. 17-point lead. It's the biggest lead of the game for LSU. Does Georgia have any pushback left in them? Woolfolk working against Joyner, shot it wildly over the hoop. She's still grimacing a little bit, so obviously she's better, but the injury still lingers. Johnson gets in there and lost it out of bounds. It will be Georgia's ball. Flau'jae Johnson had 22 friends and family here in attendance at Stegman. Sprayberry High School, which she attended, is about an hour and a half from here, about 2 hours during rush hour traffic away from here. But she recently bought them a brand new locker room at her alma mater.
Yeah, there's some awesome footage on social media if you haven't seen, but just great to see someone of her personality, her caliber, giving back to her high school. Super excited to see the players go in there. They are just loved their locker room. So Flau'jae Johnson doing big things for her high school team.
Turcoff, three. Her struggles continue on that three-point line, as do all of the Lady Bulldogs. Carnegie battling for the ball right there in front of the Georgia bench, lost it out of bounds. Wiley to the basket, gets tangled up with Turcoff, and a foul's going to be called on Riley.
As we mentioned, Georgia's help side has got to know where Wiley is. Her speed. You see this cut to the basket. Turcoff tries to get there. She's a little bit late, and it's going to be a block on Turcoff, but Georgia trying to dig their way back into this game, now down 17.
Wiley with the free throw miss. This LSU team had been ranked number 5 in the country for all 9 of the first polls of the season in the AP Top 25, and then dropped 7 spots after they lost to Kentucky and then Vanderbilt within days of each other. And for the first time ever in this week's AP Top 25, 5 of the top 7 teams in the poll are from the SEC. It's really ironic that LSU's not one of them.
That's right. I mean, just speaks to the caliber, how competitive, and how, I mean, these teams in the SEC, it's a battle every day, and you have at least 8 teams in the top 25.
Richard trying to pass the ball back to the other side, had it knocking. It's their largest deficit of the game. They got 5:05 left to work with. They've scored only 3 points here in the fourth quarter.
That's right, outscored by 10 here in the fourth. They were down 8 heading into the fourth. Had a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but it has been a tough fourth quarter here for Georgia.
Ball comes loose, a lot of collisions, and it will be LSU's ball.
Georgia's a little bit frustrated. Felt like Trinity Turner got fouled going for the ball, and then they call almost the same exact pity pat going for the ball here.
So Turner's going to be called for the foul right here, so watch. She's going for the ball.
Richard dives right into Turner, and then Turner.
I don't know how Turner gets singled out in that play. There was a lot of contact. You could have called it on anybody, or maybe called it on nobody. It's probably what they should have done, but anyway, it's LSU's ball. Johnson on the drive, gets it up and in. 18 now for Flau'jae Johnson. Kraft takes a bullet pass right in the face and then put it in.
Indoor about 3 feet away and sent a missile to Zen Kraft.
Johnson on the feed, goes out of bounds. Foul's going to be called on Georgia.
Flau'jae with 18 points. She was just called for a foul, but look at her finish over a 6'6" indoor, showing her athleticism, her length, and her ability to finish at the rim.
You can tell that she was determined, especially in her home state after the game that she had on Sunday against Vanderbilt, being held scoreless. Rebound by Henderson. Turco, oh my goodness, what a block by Johnson. And now another block by Wiley. And Turner stays with it and scoops it up and in. That was a big sister block by Flau'jae Johnson. The ball doesn't even leave your hands. Whistle, and wow, these 2 blocks right here, oh my goodness, the one by Flau'jae Johnson. And then Wiley followed with one. Turner stayed with it to her credit and went right up between the defense and stuck it in.
But LSU just putting on display their length, their athletic ability, blocking a three-point shot that hasn't even left the shooter's hand. Flau'jae Johnson with a big block. She has 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 18 points on the game, tied alongside Malaysia Fuaili with 18.
And she now has a game-high 19. After the Kentucky game where they got beat bad on the boards, they came back and cleaned that up despite the loss at Vanderbilt. And then they had a ton of turnovers against Vanderbilt on Sunday, and they cleaned that up tonight.
Right, and looking at the scoring tonight, LSU 42 bench points, 46 paint points. Georgia only 5 points from the bench and 22 in the paint. LSU currently leads Division I in both.
Flau'jae Johnson with the three-pointer and the cherry on top. 23. Carnegie tries to answer with her own three. Joyner gets the rebound. I asked Coach Mulkey today if she expected a big bounce-back game from Johnson tonight. She said, I expect a bounce-back game. She didn't want to put that pressure on her on the big bounce-back, but she has had a big bounce-back game tonight, no doubt about it. .25 effort from Flau'jae Johnson tonight. What a response after having that scoreless game on Sunday. And a block by Fuaili. Richard, the miss, hits off the top of the backboard. Georgia's got it, and now a foul is going to be called on Flau'jae Johnson.
Flau'jae Johnson showing she can shoot the three ball as well. Big three for Flau'jae Johnson. And then here, coming off the pick and roll, no one steps to her quick enough. Along to Flau'jae Johnson with 25 points.
Savannah Henderson misses the three. LSU's going to get the win here tonight and back the other way. The basket for Joyner. And LSU gets to 80 tonight. Georgia's going to drop to 1 and 2. LSU's going to be 1 and 2. Carnegie on the drive and throws up a wild layup attempt. Kraft got the rebound, baseline jumper, puts it in. And a timeout's going to be called by Coach Mulkey. She just wants to get reserves in the game right here. And Flau'jae Johnson's going to get a hero's exit as she pumps her fist at the LSU faithful who's made the trip to Athens, Georgia tonight. Dapping up with Coach Reedus. And the second most points she has scored against a SEC opponent in her career. One shy of the 26 she had against Kentucky a couple of years ago. And the LSU chants rounding out the Georgia Bulldogs here on their home floor in the final minute of this game. Henderson chases down the long rebound. Final possession for Georgia. Henderson, three, off the mark, rebound. And a final possession for LSU. They will walk it up the floor. They will get their first SEC win of the season.